think we are live now. Say hello, Darren.
Hello, we're live.
Okay, maybe we can start with a little bit of an introduction with you, Darren. So maybe you can let us know a little bit about you.
Sure. So I'm a Firebase lead developer at Invertase. I've been working in Invertase for about 2 years now, and I'm mainly the maintainer of Firebase extensions. So I've got to know Firebase really well in the last couple of years. And now I'm doing more and more sort of tutorials and explaining how things work.
Yeah, like a lot of blogs on Invertase blogs. Maybe you guys need to check it. Darren is putting together a very amazing content, and this stream today is going to be about Firebase functions and Google Cloud APIs. So about me, my name is Mais. I'm a open source engineer at Invertase, and I'm currently working with Darren to do Firebase extensions. Okay, so just an overview of what we are going to do today. It's a kind of a not well prepared live stream. Like, we tried not to do everything so we can mess up in the live stream, do mistakes, and learn. Like, hopefully these mistakes could teach you all something new. We will basically set up cloud functions, specifically Firestore triggers. So we will learn about Firestore triggers, and we will integrate Firebase, the Firestore triggers with Google Cloud APIs. The API we chose is the Translate API. So we're going to see some exciting translations coming into Firestore. Okay, so these are like, this is basically if you want to get started with cloud functions. Yeah, Darren, go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So we're going to go into a project and we'll create a new directory. We'll call this one live stream. And first, we're going to set up a new Firebase project.
So Darren, like normally if let's assume you are still a beginner in Firebase, so what is the very first step you want to do?
Oh, so I suppose first of all we need to, if you're assuming you've got a Firebase project set up, you'd want to install the Firebase CLI. So the Firebase CLI. So in this reference, you would want to install this really. So from this point, we have the tools then to set up a project locally. And from here, we can set up Firestore or storage, or basically any sort of tool that you want to use with Firebase, you can then develop locally, and the CLI can set that up. So we recommend downloading this if you want to try this stuff. And
yeah, so the easiest way, yeah, I think the easiest way is to use npm directly, which is when like it's available on Windows, it's available on Mac OS. So just npm install Firebase tools, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's globally set from anywhere.
Yeah. So once you've got that set up, we can then run the command to init a new project. So this is the simple command you use at the start. And from here, you'll get all your options on what we can set up and open. At least people get to see what type of project we want set up for this. We need to upgrade this, don't we, to...
Yes, this is an important point. So if you want to use Firebase functions, you need to be on the Blaze plan. When you create a new project, right now, like we're going to see, it's on the Spark plan, which is a free plan. Most of the products will work well, no problem. But when it comes to Firebase functions, you need to be on the Blaze plan. So down there, leftmost, yes.
Okay, yeah, so select Blaze.
You just upload. And
billing. And I'll skip that one.
So generally, like maybe you are upgrading like to the Blaze plan, but you're not gonna be build anything mostly. Like maybe it's just 0. I don't know. Like you're not gonna be built even if you are testing a lot of functions. Okay, good.
And then we're going to use the functions and Firestore emulators. Yeah, we're going to run on 5001 and 88T, and yes, we want to see the UI. I'll just leave that empty for now, and we'll download the emulators or the installation. Okay, it should be ready. Yeah, let's see what we've got, what that's created for us.
So maybe we can explore the workspace a little bit. So what's going on here? Where should we write our code?
Okay, yeah, so our code is mainly going to be written in our source folder. So what we're going to do is, to begin with, is we want our TypeScript. Yeah, okay, yeah, so what we want to do is we have a command, I think this comes built with it now, for build watch. So we want to transpile our TypeScript into JavaScript. So we're going to run this, and this will now watch our code after sign install.
Did you run npmi?
Oh, I thought that did automatically on installation.
You
do have no. Oh.
Oh, you're not in the functions folder.
Yes, yeah, sorry. So you go into the folder, and then we can run build watch.
So this is like a very good tip, because I usually didn't know about this, and I had, every time I changed my code, I had to go inside functions and run npm build again and again. It was tiring, but now you can just inside npm run build watch, and it's gonna watch your changes. Oh, so yeah.
So that error was just because we're not using functions yet. So you've got no errors. Do you have access, Mais, to the? So while Mais is doing that, so the typical installation, you can see here we've set up our Firebase JSON. It's pointed to our functions folder. We have our emulators that are running here, and so that is actually another command that we can do. So that's Firebase.
Hello.
Are you in? Hello. So if we run Firebase emulator start, should boot up our Firestore emulator. And that's running on port 4040.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see the UI.
So this is mentioning that we're actually running in an emulated environment. And although we're not switching these on, you can see which toggle systems we can use. And our main one here is going to be the Firestore emulator, which looks quite familiar. So we'll be able to actually, in this code that we're showing, is how we can interact with this. And this will automatically be used with our functions and our triggers.
Okay, so our first task is to create a Firestore trigger. So let's see how we can do that. In Firebase functions, we have a lot of types like triggers and HTTPS functions that we can use. The one we're going to do today is a Firestore trigger. And inside Firestore triggers, we have 4 events types that we can monitor. So the one I think we can start with is on create. Let's see that one.
Yes. And then, yeah.
So this is like generally the signature of the trigger. It will give us back a snapshot that is the snapshot that was just created. So we can do things with it. Let's say, for example, your user have sent a new message, and you can set this Firebase function as a trigger to watch new messages and then send a notification with this message body to the other parties in like if it was a private chat, for example. So there are many use cases for these kind of triggers. So let's start writing them.
Sure. Okay, so go into here, and we're going to need our functions reference again. So we want to export.
Probably we need to delete this.
So 5 functions and Firestore. It's based on Firestore, and we have on create. Is that
doc? I think we first give it the path of the document. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Copilot seems to know already what we're looking for.
Cool. Okay, so this trigger will basically watch a. But let's change the path.
Oh yeah, we probably want to set a hunt collection equal to. So have we mentioned what we're going to be doing here? Actually, is it? Want to do translation?
Let's. I think we were. Yeah, let's do it as tweets.
Tweets.
So yeah, so let's assume in some application we have a collection of tweets, and these tweets will have a button. I think this is the same functionality that Twitter provides. You can click on translate tweet on each tweet. So let's do the same. Cool. So we're gonna watch specifically this path, tweets / like this. I think it has a name. This kind of like it's gonna watch for any ID. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, yeah. This represents any document that will come in, and when we get the parameters, this is what we represent as the document ID as it comes in.
Mm-hmm. It can be anything actually. It can be tweet ID.
Oh, nice.
Just some kind of. It has a name. This kind of path. Yes, we got it. I can't remember either. Maybe if anyone. Yeah, wildcards. Thanks, Jacob. It's wildcards. So the document paths follow the wildcards. I think there are a couple of ways of watching different documents. Like, for example, if we have a sub-collection in a document in a collection, this has some kind of path as well. Okay, let's print something. Probably the snapshot content, just to test out.
Copilot does make it too easy, doesn't it? And that data is exactly what we're looking for. Data.
That's how we extract the data out from the snapshot. And let's go to the emulator. Yeah, print this.
Actually, print out the data.
Mm-hmm. Well, we can use console.log, and we can use something else, which is.
Apart from this?
Yeah, you know, the functions logger.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is, it doesn't like make a big difference when you're testing locally in the emulator. I mean, both of them are printing, but later when we deploy, it's much better to log stuff using the functions logger. This is like a module from the Firebase functions library. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so we can go back to. I mean, this is no errors. Yeah, listening. So just to start off with.
To answer your question, Thomas, this is GitHub Copilot, right, Darren?
Yeah, that writes out the stuff for us. Yeah, I've got that turned on down here. I can actually. I'm going to do that.
No, please. This is gonna make our life harder. I'm already so much used to it that anywhere else, other than VS Code, I just type in the first word of a sentence that I have in my brain, and then I wait Copilot to magically show up in a Word document, for example, and complete it for me. So used to it.
Just realised we're getting some warnings here on.
I think
functions.
Yeah, maybe we need to update Firebase. Let's just stay on this on the current version, just
Sorry,
not to break anything.
And that should have logged out here, shouldn't it? When we added
yeah. Was the function loaded? If you go up, I don't see the name of the function.
No, I don't know.
So maybe let's see steps. I assume we should see the name of the function. We didn't export it.
Oh. Yeah. Export
tweets trigger.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Good one.
Nice. Okay.
So function, like we can write functions in different files and have like if we have a lot of functions, we can just put them in different files depending on what they are serving. But I think we need to export from index at the end of the day. Index.ts. Yeah. We got it. Cool.
Okay, so we are working. Functions are working in emulated.
Fine.
So now we have our data. The goal for us is to now translate it.
Yes, let's write a comment there.
So format it.
So the first thing is if we get the translation back, we need to write it back to Firestore. So in order to write to Firestore right from our Firebase functions, we need to use the Firebase admin SDK. So let's install that.
Oh, yeah. Firebase admin. Yeah, for this one as well, we do import all for TypeScript reasons. It's because it's not modular, I think. I'll just rebuild and watch. Oh, data's not used.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
So we'll probably set a reference for the database up here to keep the code cleaner. So we're going to set the database admin up Firestore.
But before we access Firestore, we need to do something.
The translation module?
This is going to give us an error if we deployed this. Let's help you a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I always forget this line.
Yeah.
I think it's the same workflow for all SDKs, I think. Like in Flutter, we have to call initialize app before accessing any other services.
And for now, we don't need a project ID, do we? For this?
No.
We just use default credentials.
Yes, so initialize app, like without anything here, it's going to use the default credentials. And when we deploy it, it's going to, like everything is set up on the cloud. We don't need to do anything. So the next step is the Translate API. So the actual title of this stream, integrating with Google Cloud APIs.
Okay, so I'll find that reference. Let's see. We're going to be looking for Translate Google API. NPM.
Dot translate, I think. Yeah. I mean slash. This one, yes. So generally, all APIs in Google Cloud has an NPM package that looks like this, which is at Google Cloud / the package name, whatever you want to use. Cloud tasks, anything. Install it.
Okay. So
Here we go.
Version 7. I want to import.
Yeah, let's import.
and I think it's actually v2.
Yes. Translate client.
Yeah, is that dot?
Yeah.
That visualization we need there.
Translate. Is this a new one?
Yeah, because I always thought we needed a v2 on this one. Maybe that, we'll see how that one works. It might need to change that later too.
Let's see. Yeah, let's import version 2. I think that's the one we want. So v2 dot translate. Yeah. So this is like the client.
Yes. Okay. I suppose the idea is that when we come to, so we want to get our data, and then we can pass the information into this translations. I think it's first.
Yeah, just without an S.
And we want to, so this information here, this data.text, that's correct.
Yes.
So if we pull out our variables to make it more readable. Yeah.
Yeah, text and
because we want a variable for this, don't we? For what language?
I think we can just extract it in the same line, don't we?
Should we call it target?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we do that? Ah, yes, we can.
Oh, yeah. And so we'll pass our target in here.
So the target is the language that we want to translate to. So for example, I'm going to write English and we want it to be translated to what language? You choose. And guys in the comments.
Amazing. Copilot even knows what we want to do next.
Yeah, that's correct. So we want to update. Good job, Copilot. It learned from us from yesterday. All that data teach them something.
I'm just surprised I've written all of it out for us. I'm remembering all of last night's practice.
It's perfect. Yeah, we practiced all yesterday. Okay. So we perform the translation after we get the data from Firestore, and then we want to write back the result to Firestore. Let's do that.
Okay, so we have our database from before, and we want to say the collection, no collection specified. Then, oh, we need our ID, don't we?
Yeah, the doc ID. So we want which, we know which document to update.
I'm sure it's listening to us. How did it know that bit? Yeah.
Creepy AI.
It knows everything. The doc, and yep, we want to update. And yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't. Text. Let's not rewrite, like overwrite the original text, probably. So just we add a new field, translate.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you teach me a trick yesterday.
Yeah, you don't need to put the key and value if it's called the same.
Yeah.
So you can actually just stick that in there. Oh yeah, this is a promise.
Yeah. Okay, I think this looks good, except for one thing. Before we start testing, you remember from yesterday we were facing an issue with authentication for the translation API. Yeah,
this surprised us.
There was some kind of like Firestore is working correctly with the emulator. It's initializing and everything, but then when we added the translate API, it started saying like the translate API is not emulated. Basically, even if we are using the emulator, we're still making calls to the live API. So the live API is not picking up the project that we are using. So the actual cloud project that we have. So for some reasons, it was just picking up some dummy project in the emulator. So this is probably an issue. To solve it temporarily or as a workaround, let's provide our credentials manually. So this would be a key file.
It's generating a private key.
Yeah. We need to have the service account.json, which we can get from the Firebase console.
Oops.
Yeah. It doesn't work with the emulator. It has to be live.
And did we place this at the root as well, didn't we, for safekeeping?
Yeah.
I think we can get away with it in the source.
Yeah, probably.
If we were to do credentials.json.
Yes. Okay, so it's gonna, like, theoretically this should work, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a miracle if it worked from the first time. But let's try testing. So we got the emulator and create a new function.
Clear this data first. Yeah. Okay, so we'll add a new one, and we want text as hello, and we want our target. Is yours AR Mais? Are we?
Yeah, let's test this one.
And
nothing is happening. Okay. I think we have the path wrong. Yes. I changed that. Test again. Yeah, the path was like one step away. Please work, please work, please work. No. Let's see the logs. Yeah, again.
Do I need to restart the emulator maybe? It's looking for inside functions.
I suspect that we need to put it inside lib. Maybe expand lib.
It does say it's expecting it to be in functions, and we've got it in source.
If you expand lib,
sure,
like the folder, yeah, it's not there. This is the JavaScript one is the one that is actually being emulated, the code. So it's not there. Just put it in lib.
I was thinking, do it need to be in lib, or would it be able to find it?
I think, yeah.
Try another one. How many of these have we done before?
Let's get back. Something's wrong again. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So we made a progress. So the error is that we don't have the API enabled, and that's a good error. Let's see how we can enable any API on the Google Cloud.
So let's hit this.
Yeah. So it gave us the link right away in the terminal. That's good. Can go right inside it and click enable. Yes.
Okay, that should be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try another one. And target. Hey.
Yeah, that's correct. I can validate. So let's try other languages. French. We have game with us. Let's try French. You can validate.
Can give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Cool. So we got that to work. So that's like the very basic code. Let's make it more fancy, add more touches. So first of all, we're not handling any errors. What if there is no text or there is no target? What would happen? If the data we came, because it's Firestore, it's not SQL, stuff might be different than what we expect. Yeah. So I suggest we create I forgot. Yeah, a class, a type, an interface. Yeah, whatever. Oh, let's create an interface.
So we want to export interface tweets.
Mm-hmm. So this interface will represent a single document in our Firestore, so it will have the same required and optional. Let's add translation and error.
Oh yeah, translation.
The translation is nullable, not required. We could have an error. We don't. Translation.
And we want to assign this to.
So we say this data as, I think.
As, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. But we are only extracting. Yeah, I think that should work. Text and target. Yeah.
Yes, and then because we want to update later on, don't we, to add the error. So here we want to say if we no text or it's not a string.
I think the Translate API has these checks. Okay. So it can save us some lines of code. So let's try actually like doing a text without a target and doing a target without a text and see. But before that, we want to log our error. So maybe a try catch or something.
There is something on this now, isn't there, for getting the message? So we need to const message is equal to I've got message that's going to throw an issue.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And to get around that, we need to may need to look this one up. Is it as string?
Yeah, as error, I think. So casting the error as an object error, and then dot message.
Like that?
Yes. No, error, like error. Let me try. So I think it's this.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Overwriting.
And yeah, we want to write this back to the documents, which helps us with.
Cool.
So db.collection, that mostly. And we want to update with error and the message we've received. We'll update our writing of the documents into the try.
Yes.
So, does that look okay for a test?
I think, yeah, so the last thing we can do is if we have an error from a previous try and it's still there in the document, we're not overwriting it. So let's delete the error if we get a successful translation.
Oh, I like this one because I didn't know this one.
So this is to delete a field value that already exists in Firestore. Like this is applicable to all SDKs. So you just say update and then call Firestore.field value.delete, and this should delete this field.
Okay, give that a go.
Yeah, let's try.
So we just don't include the target.
Let's try without target first.
Yeah, okay. Yep, so it's saying the target is needed to form a translation. Now, suppose, even though we added the delete here, we are only using onCreate, aren't we? So if I was to update it manually.
Yeah, this is something.
That's where you are.
So nothing is going to happen.
Nothing will
Why?
happen. Yep. And that's because we only have onCreate. And if we go back to our documentation for triggers, you notice that although we can have just onCreate, we've also got on update, delete button, specifically on write as well. And this will handle both. Well, it says here, create, update, and deletions, the documents. So we can update our function here to be on write to handle all scenarios. This comes a bit different, and the reason for this is because you can handle both scenarios. We have both after and before data. In this scenario, we just want the after data, basically, what has changed. That's all we're concerned with for this part.
So what about like on write is handling all of them, the 3 events. So on create, on update, and on delete. So in case of a deletion, we don't have, like, I don't want to write back. I can't update a deleted document.
Yeah, so do we want to add something here to say return if there's no data?
Yeah. Or maybe just ignore, like how can we ignore the delete operation or trigger?
I suppose if we have no after data. So if no data.
Is there a way to check the type of event we're getting back in the document, in the trigger? I think from context.
Oh yeah. See where I have in context.
It was there somewhere.
Event type, maybe?
And the type we want to avoid is I think it's this one. Is it this one? Or probably it's shorter. Let's test and try. Actually, let's log the event time. Yeah.
I don't think we need the extra bits. Okay, let's delete one of those.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah, this is the event type. It's google.firestore.document.delete. Is it delete though? We got right.
Oh, that's not that one then.
Oh.
Chat, if anyone knows.
Yeah, anyone knows? Let me Google that quickly.
Let's see where we put the types. I think even as a case scenario, we'll check if there's no data after. But
okay, so I think yeah, that's the way to go. If it's a delete event, we will not have any data.
And we can maybe log out. We've got the deletion.
I think if you say exists, like there's a function.
Yeah, that's much better.
Is it a property or a function?
Boolean property.
Is it a property? Okay.
I think.
Because I'm looking at the Stack Overflow answer and it's a function, but probably that's an old. That's database. Is there a difference? Like RTDB and.
Oh, is that Firestore versus classic database? As long as I don't get an error, I'm happy. Oh, we got an error.
So yeah, probably it's a function. It's logging the you didn't. No, it's correct. You're just not quitting the function.
Oh, no, we did have it at one point.
Okay, this should work.
Well, we've got so many to test with.
That's clean. Cool. What else we can do to make this better? Yeah. So the collection, this is like a nice thing added to recent SDKs, which is the converters. So for example, if we have a collection, we are assuming that each document in the collection is a tweet. So can we actually get it as a tweet, like structured, not just a JSON data and we are casting it? So yeah, this is the one. So basically, you set a converter on your collections, and every document is coming back to you. It's gonna be from that type. So the Firestore SDK is gonna do all the conversions for you, which is transforming the raw data from Firestore to your type, which is in our case a tweet. And when we write back, it's gonna take the tweet and deserialize it again, so it can write it back to Firestore. So this is like a nice type safe thing that we can add. So to create a converter for our collection, which is tweets.
What's that? I think, Mais, you have a nice generic converter for this.
Let me copy it. It's like my go-to.
Of all the code I didn't want to copy, this is the least.
So let me. This is like a generic converter. It's like a, is it?
This is definitely one of those you can just copy and use.
Yes.
No one will judge you for it. Okay. So we're going to import our converter.
So let's just store our collection in. Okay, and then what we can do is we can say const tweets collection equals our generic. No, so first pd the collection.
I'll just set that at the top. Generic.
The collection dot with converter. And we import generic. Yep, and give it the type we want. That's a function. Yep. So now we have our collection safe. We can write, read, and update using this without writing the whole thing every time.
Yeah. Should I update the references to that?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, let's go.
it's collection, and then we have one down here as well. And here. Oh no, it's actually
yes, it's the whole thing. So the converter will come before the document. So anything coming in and out is going to be converted.
oh, that's the original, isn't it? I should have updated that.
Yeah, I think that looks good.
No errors. That's used to come up. Okay, let's give that a quick.
Yeah, this is gonna work. Okay.
And target and payment.
Yeah, let's try this.
Hey, there we go.
Correct.
That worked first time.
I don't know. Go to Google Translate. I mean, this is Google Translate.
I think so.
It's the same API, yeah.
Yeah, it is under the hood. I think it's very similar.
Have we showed them the errors, by the way? Like deleting the target and deleting the text. Like try deleting from an existing document. No, this one had an error.
Oh, editing one. As in, if I was to change.
Yeah, delete the target. Let's see what will happen. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we are writing back the error.
That was really quick.
Yeah, this is the local emulator. Okay. I think we have done everything. Now we've tested, we've done everything we want, and we think our implementation is good. So let's try deploying it.
Okay, so to deploy, we only want to do functions in this one.
Yes. And we can actually specify the name of the function we want.
Okay. Around here?
Functions, semicolons, I think, after the functions. And then the name of the function. It's tweets.
Oh, it is. Catch that? Like tweets.
So if we have a big workspace that is full of functions, maybe you want to update only a single function, so you don't have to go through. And the CLI is going to check all the functions in your workspace. Oh, welcome. Errors.
Oh, well, LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah. The CLI is very strict about that.
Oh, so we can run our link command here.
Yeah, let's try. Okay, so this is like, I'm not a very good TypeScript developer, but there's always this problem in new projects for me, which is when there's a conflict between prettier and ESLint. Like if you look at the linting errors, it's saying I'm expecting an indentation of 4, but found 2, because probably prettier is formatting to 2 and ESLint is finding 4. It doesn't want 4. This is just a conflict between both of them.
Yeah, actually, I think.
Let's just comment that. Can we get rid of this one?
Yeah, I think we could use a fix. So I think if we actually run this, npx, and then fix, does that do it?
Yeah, this will do it, but when you get back and edit anything in your code and save, Prettier will just ruin it all again. So both are not synced.
I would need to set up a link file locally for that one, so
yeah. This is the worst part of any JavaScript project.
Presumably, we need to update our rules here.
So we have a problem with two things: the spacing thing between brackets and the indentation. So let's set indentation to 2 in ESLint. That's to match Prettier. Let me get the
this is a copy and paste one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, it's ident. This is the first one, and the second one was spaces between brackets, I think. Maybe if you go up in the logs so we can read. It's between curly braces. It wasn't brackets, sorry.
Okay. Always?
Yeah. Now, just how do we remove that? ESLint. Never, I think, instead of always never.
Oh,
probably. Probably not.
Okay, well,
or we can go the other way around, but this will need us to create a new file, which is .vs code. .vs code. Then a new file. Settings and it seems okay. So try now. It's like turning off this for Prettier. It's not erroring.
There should be no space. Oh, is it a spacing?
Yeah, it's a spacing. Object curly spacing. Probably it's not this because I found 2 actually. Space in brackets. This is another one. That's right.
You should probably set my cursor to follow when you type.
Yeah, try deploying now. I changed. How do you turn off?
Oh, space in brackets.
Yeah.
No.
Was removed and replaced by. Okay. So this is an old one. Yeah. So this like legacy or something. Let's get rid of it. Is it never though?
I'm not too sure. Copilot might have got that one wrong. It's cheating from us.
Off? Try off instead of never. Or actually, yeah. Okay. So just off.
Or is it off?
I think.
Okay. This will get down to 2. Yay. Okay.
Okay. So
We apparently have indent.
inconsistently quoted the property.
I mean, we do have. I know at the top of the file for the collection.
Quotes and inputs. I think it's complaining about the ESLint file itself. Oh, yeah, again, the conflict with Prettier. So Prettier is removing, if you go to ESLint, so you see, when I do this, again, it's mad about this. Oh my God, just turn off Prettier.
It'd be easier. Is that okay to link? We should have not linted when we set up the project. There's the one for quote props. We just turn that off. I don't know if this is bad practice, by the way. I'm just turning stuff off. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think we're ready to deploy after that.
Oh, finally.
This is where we cross our fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see. Nice. And that link, is that taking us to? Okay, so
it was deployed?
We need to go to I suppose we need to go to our cloud console.
Yes. I think you cannot see it anymore here in the build. Yeah, but we can't see the logs. So we used to see the logs, but okay.
So this is our move to go to the console.
Yeah, you evolved it.
Okay, and we want to go to functions.
I don't think the function was created though. If you look at the logs back, there's like the name of the function is not showing. Oh, Mike finally saved us. So he's saying we don't have ESLint plugin Prettier. Yeah, I don't think we have it. But anyway, we got past that. We don't want to get back to it. If it's creating a new function, I think we should see the name of the function in like when here, yes, just like with the emulator, but we don't.
Yeah, we should. What's it?
Let's try again. This one. Is it translate tweets or tweets? The name of the function, I think it's not correct.
Oh, I see. And we called it tweets.
Yes.
That'll be why it is now. Yeah, nice.
Here we go.
So does that still appear in the console?
Yeah, you should see it now.
There we go. Nice.
Finally. So this is the trigger, documented right. And where can we see the logs? So logs, we used to see logs here, but not anymore. It was removed a while ago. we need to go to the Firebase console. Yes. I mean the Google Cloud console.
Yeah.
So good. We see the.
Oh, it's still creating.
Are we writing? Yeah. Are we writing logs when there is an error? Let me see. So we can. Oh no. Let's write the error as a here. So logger. Yes. Functions. Logger. Error. It's a very good practice that you like at each point you have some event going on. Like sometimes you have a very long function and a lot of things happening. Probably multiple errors could happen. So just log everything, because then you can go to your logs and see what problems, what are the problems that you have with your functions.
I'll redeploy
We need to redeploy.
Cool. Okay, I'll start that redeploy now. Will we see any updates here for updating?
We're only logging the errors, but yeah, we see the updating events. So if there was an error in updating, you can see the logs here. Sometimes it tells you error, like I have a problem deploying, please go check the logs. So you come here and check it. We can filter that, by the way.
From up here?
Yeah.
So we just want to see errors?
Only see, let's just see the error.
It may take a couple of minutes. Suppose while waiting for that, may as well point out the list.
So the languages, the target languages, if you don't know the code that you should use, because we were not using it's using ISO 639 codes. You can find them here. Let's paste the link in the comments.
Oh, there's basic and advanced. I need to read up on that. See what the two are. Okay, updated. So we can go to our Firestar database now. And we'll call tweets. And let's include the text on this one.
So the API that we were using, I'm going to paste the link as well, so if anyone wants to reference that later. The Translate API. It's very great if you want to include translation in your project. So let's see. This should, write an error. Perfect. Let's go see the logs.
Okay. Explorer. I think I need to refresh.
Yeah.
Or is it time delay? There we go.
Yeah, here we go. Perfect.
We have two. Is that correct?
Let's just ignore that for now.
So anyway, we have got the single log and carry on.
Okay, so let's do something correct this time.
That's interesting. Target language.
Should be correct.
Let me add a second document.
Yeah, let's. Okay.
Yeah.
I think, that one was actually updated. Yes, it was just a little bit late.
Rushing too quickly.
Yeah. Oh, we updated the on create. We have on write now.
And do we have logs for that?
No, we don't have any logs. So only we're logging only errors.
Yeah, I think we do have all. We would see other logs as well, wouldn't we? If we.
Here we go. Yes.
Oh yeah,
so we see when we have leftovers. So you can see when we log using console.log, we don't get like any severity. We cannot filter that out. When you are in, like, if your function is getting called by many users in 1 hour, you really need some filters on the logs. So this is like why you should use functions.logger. Cool. Okay, I think we have successfully completed the amazing application. Not application, just a function. So if anyone have any questions, it's time for that. So this, like what we did today, we linked with a Google Cloud API, but it's possible that you use also as well like these triggers and everything to link with third-party APIs. For example, if you want to send an SMS message, like a notification, SMS notification, upon some changes in a Firestore document, you can do that. Like, it's easy. It's just a Node.js environment. You can import SDKs, add your API keys. Of course, don't add your API keys in the code. We have some use env and all these things, and just normally as a Node.js application. Okay, seems like there's no questions. I hope everyone has enjoyed today. We had some delays and errors and a whole kind of what developers do every day.
Yeah.
So thank you, Darren. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Darren, any last words?
No, I suppose actually, even though we've coded this, we should point out that this has actually already been done.
Yes. So if you want to add the translation capability to your application, you really don't need to write the code from scratch. What we just did exists as an extension. So you just install this, give it the path of the document you want, I think. You want it to watch, and that's it. It's going to translate to whatever language you want. So this is a very handy extension. Let's post.
There's an example. So you can do multiple fields. That's a bit more functionality onto what we've just demonstrated, which is a single translation. But yeah, can do multi-language support. And it's
very handy.
Taking care for you, really, if you didn't want to write your own.
And here we reached the end of our stream. If anyone has any future topics that they wish we could cover, please mention us on Twitter, mention Invertase.io on Twitter, or me or Darren or anyone from the team, and tell us what topics you would like to see in a stream. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.